us among the people. But he might have heard about us. So when we are near to him, to remove him, to drink water from the jar is even easier, is even harder than to remove Jammeh.
So, Kamara, would that been the case?
Because of that?
Because of that. Because of that.
Proceed.
Yo Kamara.
Because of that.
When
that failed,
so Amura Liberia.
He went back to Liberia. When he left us there, we came and later realized that the Senegalese government also told us to go back. Because we will not come all the way to our country. We leave Senegal and go back to Liberia again. So whatsoever the case may be, we will make sure that we enter our country. So in that, we realized that the only thing that we can do is that let's use people who can be able to talk to them so that they can give us support. But before all that, when they realized that Kukoi has returned back, they decided to go after our people who were based at Tambakunda, and they were arrested.
Who arrested them?
Senegal government.
The Senegalese government.
So the Senegalese government knew of the existence of your group in Senegal.
When
Kukoi was there, they were providing us with lunch, breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
So, but when
Kukoi left and returned,
so
so when Kukoi returned, they stopped all the support they were giving us because the negotiation which was supposed to take place also failed. And so in that case, that's why they decided to turn around. So when we realized that they are not ready, and Kukoi has already left,
so and
then we ourselves realized, especially after our people were arrested at Tambakunda,
so
we decided to choose Swandi Kamara, because Swandi said he knew a colonel.
So a colonel Wad.
Somebody called Colonel Wad.
So another one,
he said he is acquainted to that man.
So Colonel,
that colonel,
81 coup.
In the 81 coup, Swandi said he knew that man during the time of Zandam after the 81 coup because the man was based in the Gambia. He said, let's allow him to go and visit that man. If he goes to that man, and after they discuss, maybe after that, we might be able to get support from these people, so maybe they will change their mind and they will help us. Because Kukoi had already left us here and we don't know when he is coming back. And the support we were getting from these people in terms of food and other needs is no longer available. So, but when Swandi was going, a man should use his brain. He told me, I'm going. Some of our people have been arrested. And I have to reach them so that those people also will be released. But now if I go, if you don't see me back, you should know that I have been arrested. So when he went, it took for some days. You didn't see him. We didn't hear anything about him. Then we said to ourselves the thought that Swandi informed us about that might have happened. Then we later heard that he was arrested. So at that moment, after that incident, then we also realized that so we cannot go back to Liberia because we don't have money. Now what are we going to do? Because we are already at the borders of our country and we cannot go in. Then we should, what should we do to be able to enter the country? And some of our people had already been arrested. Because you cannot be joining somebody, we cannot join with somebody in a particular thing. And that person comes to harm. And you were the people who planned that together. And now you decide to leave that person in that problem. That's betrayal. That's not good. So that was the time we sat down, myself and Ablai Sonko. Then we told them that so far we have not seen Swandi. Now what we are going to do is let's look at different options. An option which can help us to remove Yaya Jammeh. Let's look at those options. And those options are, one of them was we realized that at that time we don't have no arms apart from those toy guns just for birds. So what do we know what is Abla? And you can't go to any place with that gun. So then I told Ablai Sonko. So Ablai Sonko said to me, now what we are going to do, we will try. So and try and go to Gambia. So and look around what we can do to remove Yaya Jammeh. I came to the Gambia. So intelligent that was part of my intelligence operations, because apart from Ablai Sonko, nobody was aware of my coming into the Gambia and my going out of the Gambia. Because the way I came into the Gambia, that's another thing that I do by myself.
Was it the disappearing thing? Learn from Kanuma?
That's another idea. That's another experience.
So you came in and you went where?
So my first trip into the Gambia, at that time Yaya Jammeh had a meeting at First Liberian Civil War. I came into the Gambia. I went to their meeting venue to look around how they sit. So at that time, apart from Sana Sabali, they are all present there. So how can one look and to do something at that meeting place, arrest him there? So how can one plan and do that? So apart from that also, He was supposed to go to Ndungu Kebe.
Kata Baribu Kerawan nyol.
Go to Baribu Kerawan.
So unka o mirin lal be wok sabula kaji be ye mirin lal la ko mirin ko nyaade la ni mo samuta no lando nyaade.
I observed the way all those meetings were held and check how can one get hold of him at one of those meeting places.
So
during that process, did you encounter any Gambian intelligence officers or any security personnel?
Wato nyibi ke nyumbe ko be ite be law kol ke kan fo inin tanko bunda mo nyo soto de bang membe kala fa be kala kullu bunda mo le de bang waranto sojari fanna la bang hani
No.
You were not suspected at all.
Mama je kasobila
For them to suspect me.
It is because
They cannot suspect me because they don't know. They don't have the experience. Because the way I come into the country at that time, the NIA and whatever his hopes were based on, they don't have that idea.
Because
I have an idea wherever I want
knowledge
to enter.
Londo is knowledge, not idea.
Anyhow,
If I want to use that knowledge, I can go anywhere. You will not even know that it is me. I have that knowledge. Allah helped me to acquire that.
So
that's the knowledge I used to come into the Gambia.
So,
but when I realized that at those meeting venues, to have something that we can use, even if it is going to be an AK-47, maybe 1 or 2, because those kinds of operations, if you want to carry them out, that's a commando operation. If you want to carry out an operation like that, you have to have something. And if you are going to carry out an operation like that, you go with two things. You kidnap him there, or he dies there.
So you
go with one of these two options.
So
and if you are going with these two options,
so you
have to use knowledge. Because he's a president who was very pompous, may Allah forgive me.
So, but
as for us, the way we are going to approach him,
because in Libya,
in those days, he was full of this Libyan problem. Because it was in those days that Baba Job pumped him with information about this Libyan thing and explained things to him.
So
and we were going to use that system.
So new system
if we use that system, by the time we reach him, he will not even realize that we were his enemies.
So
that's what he will think. He will think that these people are my people.
For how long were you in Gambia under reconnaissance mission?
Gambia for what because 96 like first election.
Since the first election in 96, that all found us in Senegal. I used to come to the Gambia.
For State House, no?
I went all the way to State House.
You didn't tell you?
You didn't have State House? Not for State House,
I came up to the State House.
I went
in just before the election. Those were the days when he was told to put aside the military uniform and stand as a civilian candidate. I came there twice. What my mission was, because I've already sworn.
So
just to observe how can one attack this place.
When you arrived at State House, did you have to show your documents in order to be allowed access?
Brief at the State House. Yela kaitol tandila bampu jandi besone dumba.
Ngasila dollar use.
No, I used another mean.
No, the model naranyola.
I came with some people.
So
those people, I was among those people.
But all found maroon demujumale.
But those people don't even know who I was.
Because I don't found over.
Because you know there are certain things. You can make use of those things. And if I use those things, I can come and pass you here and you will not be even be aware of it.
There are those from Kanuma too.
And those things are available.
Why didn't you just walk to State House? Nobody would see you, and then you grab your jam and walk back out.
Ako muna na wala man tambidro yeta ma yeta for State House kono ya jambe damere ya muta ina findina.
Yala abuka keno nya president fana ala aso fenel.
Things cannot be done like that. The president also is somebody who Allah has endowed with something.
So for
you have to look around. You have to use some ways before you reach him.
So the mana silol sorono.
Then I was unable to get the chance of
know where
the armory was located. Because if you are going to attack a place,
so-called soldier,
I'm not talking about so-called soldiers, but real soldiers. You want to attack a place. The first place that you try to capture is the armory. If you are able to get the armory, you will succeed. But if you cannot get the armory, leave everything alone. You will fail.
So
this is what makes many soldiers to fail in their missions.
So
so when I was unable to locate the armory, we went back to Senegal. Then I told Abulai, I have tried means and ways to locate their armory, but I was unable to locate the armory.
So
then Abulai told me, now what we can do, the only place is Farafenye.
So
if we can use Farafenye, so that we can get arms from the Farafenye camp. If we have arms from Farafenye, we leave Farafenye and go against Banjul.
So Farafenye
and at Farafenye also, I came there on 2 occasions.
So for the camp
up to the camp or inside. I went inside the camp.
So I
go and sit down. I drink China green tea with them in their houses.
So Bachelor headquarters.
At the bachelor's headquarters.
So bari da jama malong nimu mojumale. Imalong fangsa nim mojumale.
They don't even know who I was.
What did you tell them?
Window Jeba. At the time,
at that time, I used a young man,
but
that child
Kabiro Dembajang Domalem
is a younger brother to Kabiro Dembajang. Because the child was 18 years old. By that time, we were of the same height because he grew up quickly. But the young man doesn't even know who I was.
So,
that young man,
So ndekata kampo to kachana.
Yes, he said that he used to go to the camp to chat with them. And at that time, I had this business in that camp.
So okay, no problem.
Then I said to him, no problem.
So
I went along with him. So I used to go with him into the camp.
Did anybody ask you who you were?
No.
You just came, they just accepted you like that.
Yes.
And they were so accommodating, they would even take you to their house, to their accommodation, their houses and so forth.
Because
no, because that young man I used to go with know a lot of people in the camp. So they had no suspicion about me.
So
in that.
So
and when I went, until I knew that this place is their armory.
So that
was the time I went back to my people in Senegal.
We also received evidence from Mr. Damfa that he too went to Farafenye.
Yes.
To do the same thing.
Yes.
Why was it necessary?
Just to remove Yaya Jammeh.
No, but was it necessary to do two different recognition missions?
Yes, it's worth it. Because what I thought
former soldier
is because he was a former soldier.
Maybe maybe
yes, maybe it might be worth it.
Okay, proceed. After all these recognition missions.
So
so when I went there,
after
after all that surveillance, that was the time when I went back. I informed my people.
So
after informing them,
so
okay, they said okay.
How
are we going to get money? Be able to perform this operation? Because to go empty-handed like this to Farafenye, that's not safe.
So
so I sat with Ablai. I said to him, now what we are going to do.
So then
Ablai said to me, he said, my people, they can go to my people.
Gambia.
But when we are going to Gambia, because my people are not aware that I am alive. So when we go there, you will go in. I will be outside.
So when
you go there, I have some brothers there.
So you
call them and chat with them. Don't call them in among the people. If you call them in front of certain people, they will cry. Then our plans will be revealed. I said okay.
So
when we went, I left him behind the village. I went into the village.
Which village?
Nyomi Berending.
So
when I arrived, I went to their home.
So I
met one of his brothers there. But that man has passed away by now. He was called Esa Sonko.
So no Kachara.
I discussed with him.
So bari birina be kacha.
But during our discussion,
Nga men fai.
whatever I tell him,
Ga na ko ye fenne dumbul nam.
I said to him, something has been entrusted to me.
Na mantano nga bula kena ko mol.
But I was unable to come with it here. I left it out of the village.
So bari lafra menna.
But what I want,
Because lafra murla mbe hawujiram ba.
I am in a hurry. I want to return
So purunga dila.
so that we can go together. I'll give it to you.
So nana ranyola.
I came along with him
Kena ko mor.
up to the place where we left the village.
So waro nga bula damando.
At that time where I left Ablai,
So waro la bula songo ye.
that was the time when he sighted Ablai.
Bula jedro.
When he saw Ablai,
Abulo la kundo.
he put his two hands on his head.
Awurra.
He shouted.
Kumbota.
He cried.
So bra kumbota.
When he cried,
So nga ye day.
I told him, keep quiet.
Guy ko funding kia be wala nyam.
I told him this is the way of the life for a young man.
Bari mo me alon ko yamu ko ka farale.
Because somebody that you took for dead,
Fo yala mungol bela.
until you decided to organize charity for that person,
Ina ta woje.
now you come to see that person alive,
So isi ala tendu.
then you should be thankful to Allah.
So si la moy.
So now listen,
Asa be dande la yemen.
because he's going to tell you something.
So waro lam de ablay na rafai.
That was the time when Ablai talked to him.
So nyala nga napulano lu fate hen.
Truly, we informed him of our plans.
So ablay na rafai ko.
Then Ablai told him that
So fonsi kodo do soro no je bang.
whether we can be able to have some money
So puru alsim ma ko man.
so that you will help us with.
So anata fo atabidam do komsa ko tawul.
He said at that present moment he doesn't have any money.
Ablay la kafu nyoma do beje.
But Ablai has a friend there.
So the la badi ma do beje no.
He has a relative there.
Ala broda la wo fanande.
That man also is his brother.
Ka fo lamin songo.
He's called Lamin Sonko.
Unada fo ko.
Then he said that.
Ako ablay la nisi kilimbare bulu jede.
He said he has one cow belonging to Ablai.
So ablay na rafai sai woni so nyi wafi.
Then Ablai told him to sell that cow
Ya kodo dinno.
and give me the money.
So ala kafu nyoma do beje.
So he has another friend there.
Wala nara ni so nyi sang.
That friend bought the cow.
So biro ni so nyi sang.
After he bought that cow,
Kilin kema fula.
$1,200,
So ay kodo nyi dinna.
he gave us the money.
So di ablay.
He gave the money to Ablai.
So murtanam
Then we returned,
kana Senegal.
come to Senegal.
So birum fura karang.
When we reached Karang,
So ablay na rafo ablay ko.
then I told Ablai that
Ani bi.
now
Ni kodo tan dol sila de.
this money is not enough for us
Bari fongan kol toparo akon.
because we have to do certain things and it will be out of this money.
Fonsi balu akon fana.
And we have to take care of our feeding too.
Bari waro mbeso kon.
Because in those days we were based at Sokon.
Babri su ande arrest.
But when Swandi was arrested,
So mbora sokon.
we left Sokon,
Nyorra nyaro ndara kaulak.
we went to Kaulach.
Birum fura kaulak.
So when we reached Kaulach,
So naram fantala.
then we decided to separate
Bari kaulak am sare bale.
because Kaulach is a very big town.
Sansi janjan no orle.
We can disperse.
So ubara san Senegal bari la franga muru la flambe arrest la kilinke bari tan ko kalamra.
So as far as the Senegalese government wanted to arrest us one by one, but when we disperse and stay there like that, they will not be aware of us.
Bari suwandi ngin ngale.
Because they asked Swandi,
Ila modol wemendo.
and they asked him, where are your other people?
Suwandi fananga suwandi ko nteje falali.
Swandi said to them that I will not inform you, I will not tell you the place.
Adu nal man nay modol bula.
And if you fail to release our other people,
Almande bula.
and you don't release me,
Mando bara albek fendo moyla.
you will hear something else.
So biri mawke.
So when they refused to do that,
Biri narandol naren kodo nyin dota ablay bulu.
so I came and took some money from Ablai.
Ablay ko sa mbadun defana ita namolia.
I told Ablai, now wait for me to go and see my people.
So waro defana nara nasare woro.
That was the time when I came to our village,
Jara pakalindi.
Jara Pakalinding.
Birum be fudalaji.
But when I was reaching that village,
Comme ça samagon waro musol be tutro.
it was in the rainy season when women were transplanting.
So very musolia mo kon natale.
When the ladies heard that I have returned,
So bama nyol membe faroro.
my mother who were at the rice fields,
All be nata.
they all came.
Or da fara tep.
Compound became full
Bari amda kon fara le foy na mungo la fam.
because they also thought that I was there. They even gave out charity for me.
So kamala nata mo kon nata do.
Then after they heard that I have returned,
So momo damando hanim men be sata o konoji.
every person, even those in the village,
So will be nata kordar konodi.
they all came to the compound.
So time
At that time,
so nata fam fama ko.
then I told my father,
Mantilim fama
I didn't explain the truth. I didn't tell him the truth.
no fanyaro fam fama ko malla fay na plano.
I told him a lie because I didn't want him to know our plans.
Bari na long.
Because if he knew,
Aba fana nyala kanda.
he will tell me not to go.
Wala na nganu ko.
This is why I decided to hide things
Malla
from
fi
him.
nimmen donda kola.
And I didn't want to disappoint those whom I had arrangement with.
Ba dol be muto hono.
Because some of them were already in custody.
Dol be batar in Senegal.
Some were suffering in Senegal.
Aninde na ngantelem fama iro.
Then if I come and tell my father the
An
truth,
lafta men na bulu.
what I want from him,
Da so labul.
I will not get it.
So wala no fana man so nantelen na.
So this is why I didn't tell him the truth.
Buru ba jala men beye.
So that those who were there,
E ni sikana.
those people also will be safe.
So buru na ranka ko nimmuto lenar.
So when I came, I told him that I came with vehicles,
Bare ngi jindi Senegal poro.
but they are at the Senegalese port.
Ba sa na ko do bandale.
But my money is finished.
So buru na ko do banda nyanda morol bondel.
So as far as I have no money and I want to take out these vehicles,
So akonyo ko eno moro jellenar.
he asked me, how many vehicles did you come?
Ani moro sabalenar.
I told him that I came with 3
I was
vehicles.
saying nada puru ya mako kodor.
So now I am here for you to help me to get some money.
So anada fonyo ko.
Then he told me,
Konyo ko te larim bulde.
I don't have any money kept
Konyo
with me.
saying fo ni sol membe mbuli jang.
Now, except for the cattle I have here,
Fonsi wo wafi.
I have to sell some of them.
So anada ni si fula wafi.
Then he sold 2 cattle.
So ni si doni.
One of the cows,
Awo wafi no.
he sold it
Uli killing.
1,100.
Keme killing. Ni si doni.
The other cow,
Ni si musolam.
it was a female cow,
Bara kororal.
but it was an old one.
Anada o boy to wafi keme sei.
He sold that easily, cheaply for $800.
Awo ni aje nka kumamfote.
The reason why I am narrating this thing like
Man
this,
ken tedda mal mum fama dingoti.
I was not the only son of my father.
Nka fo pour samale kama pour dingol membe koma.
I want to say this because of the ones behind,
Ay salo wo nyama.
they will know.
Bari ku jamala ka fo akono dal.
Because so many things are being said about this thing.
So bari wulula dum ala balu wato.
Because a parent during his lifetime,
Ay femfen ke
whatever he does for you,
wo mula ko tinate mato wo mantra miraso kono.
that will not be part of the inheritance
I
that's
saw
between
that.
the two of you that has been given to you as a gift.
Bara taringo kola.
But after his departure,
Ay femfen du koma.
whatever he leaves behind
So wo be miraso lo.
will all be part of the inheritance.
So wala nanka en kuma senande pour jama sa kalam daw nyama.
This is why I want to clarify this point so that
Tumandobaro-
those who were not in the know, they will know what has
Ni
happened.
mistake ta menna wo ko kono.
If I make any mistake in it,
Sa imamul bejan.
you have imams,
So,
Isim ma koy wo.
let them help me.
yes, we understand that it's important for you, but that's very personal. So now let's move on. Your father sold his 2 cows, and what did he do with the money?
Sai fama yala o ninsi fulol wafi. Ayo kodo kenyadi le.
Bra oni si fulol wafi.
After he sold those 2 cows,
Kodo nyin
the money,
dinna.
he gave it to me.
Falling safer.
And I changed it to CFA francs.
Barum fama.
But my father,
Ati wonya amandra larende kom sa keba.
as an elder, he was not very, very trustful about me.
Be sobirin because amandra larem kuna.
He was suspicious. He was not completely sure of
Bar
me.
ngala hakilota purka tengundi.
But I tried to calm him down.
Purka a convince ha.
So that I can convince him.
Yo puru asilimane ya sotonna.
So that he will trust me.
So wokono.
In that.
Ani wonya.
Despite all that.
Anada fonya ko ni bita.
He told me, if you are going, you will go with somebody.
So
that person,
I
I had a grandfather there. He was staying at Soma. But I was staying with him in Libya at one time. Because that man is used to me. He was called Balo Kanteh, but he is already of late. I went with that man. But when we reached Kaulach, he didn't know how I disappeared from him. Because I just disappeared from him. He was not even aware. I thought, so when he sat down there and didn't see me, he came back to the Gambia. So when he came, that's what he told my father. He said to my father that, well, that man just disappeared away from me. So, but when he came, before he went to narrate that incident to my father, it took some time. Because he was also in doubt what to tell my father. Because according to our relationship, my father was also his son. So this is why he was thinking. So saying, now. So I took that money. I sat with Ablai. Plus the other guys we were with there. Then I told them that. I told Ablai that there is a way I used to take. If Yajame is holding a meeting like at Nungu Kebe, there is a road which I used to take to go via Kermaliksar. So I used to meet an old man there. His sole name is Kamara. But now I have forgotten his name. Because it was a long time. So single barrel
single barrel rifles.
Because I used to meet him manufacturing these single barrel local rifles. So then I told him that. I told him that I need one of these two things. He asked me, how many do you need? I told him I need 3 of these. He said okay. So another charge. Then he charged me. After he charged me, I advanced some money. So the rest of the money, that's what we were used for feed. That's what we used for feeding. So before he was ready with the manufacture of those guns, so the money we had exhausted. After the money got finished, we sat down again. I said to Ablai, Senegal is very difficult and we are not employed. We don't have money. Now our money is finished. And it is from your family we are getting a little bit of support. And now they are also tired. I said to him, now, let me use my knowledge again. Let me go back to my father. If I go there, when I reach him, I will use my knowledge. If I have some money from him, if I come, we can use that. We can take care of our needs and move. So when I came, I didn't go to our home. I passed. I went to Soma. When I reached Soma, I went to my grandfather. When I met him there, he was panicked. He put his hand on his mouth.
So aku nyete mandanda koro nyadi.
He told me, how did you just disappear from me?
Nkai ko ndo fole.
I told him, I will not tell you
Nkai
that.
ko londo kai.
I told him that knowledge,
Nkai ndo fole.
I cannot tell you.
Your uncle did not study in Kanuma.
This is, according to his narration, is his grandfather.
Oh, grandfather.
Hani amang karanje.
No, he didn't
Okay, proceed.
learn in Kanuma.
So very ndaraje.
When I reached him,
So na kachar.
I discussed with him.
Nkai ako ne ko side ko no nkai ko no brindara no.
I told him when I left,
Nkai nimmo dole nyojo no.
I saw somebody
Nkai
else,
wona ra fanyo ko abe ma ko ila.
and he said he was going to help me.
Nkai wala na manna murno ite kanno.
This is why I was unable to come back to you.
Nkai wo kono no.
And during that time,
Wona ra time o tambulu.
it took me some time.
So na ra fo ko purunga ra ngamma matul blaldo.
Then I told him, let me go back. I left my grandfather at a certain place
So purun nasi nyoje.
so that I can see him.
So nkai ba birin naraje.
I said to him, but when I came back to the place,
Manne raye.
I didn't meet you at the place where I left you.
Ba ra o mange to nyaade de.
But that was a lie.
So nara wala fare.
That's what I told him.
So birin furara nara boje.
Then I left there.
Nara murranam pakal.
Then I came back to Pakali.
Daram fama ko
I went to my father again.
birin fama yende.
When my father saw me,
Akonyo ko
he said to me,
ini men dara nyo ko e man ta koral.
he told me that the person you went with said you disappeared from him.
Nka hanya kom sa ate amira wala nyam.
I said, no, that's what he thought.
Nka manjele.
He didn't see me, that's why.
Nka nimmole nyoje.
I told him that I met with somebody.
On this particular occasion, were you able to get more money from your father?
Nara kolo do so ravul korale.
Yes, I got some money from him again.
And then you returned to Kaulak.
Nara mur kaulak.
Yes, I went back to Kaulak.
And in the end, did you acquire the guns?
Arra sa birin murra kaulak.
Yes, when I went back to Kaulak,
So nara ta pur kende unye manga kido deda.
I went to the man who makes those guns.
Nara ala kodojo.
I paid the rest of his money.
So ngado ke balur.
The other part of the money.
So how many guns did you acquire?
Saba.
3.
And what did you do after you acquired these guns?
So birnga kidol soro.
When we got those guns,
Arra kodo do bembulu.
because at that time I had some money,
So nara fanko sa nara oke bani.
that old man,
Nara fay ko.
I said to him,
Kay ko be sularin single barrel kesol.
I need bullets for a single barrel gun.
So anara fanyo okay sima ko noje.
He said, okay, I will help you.
So nara kodo dial.
I gave him some money.
So arla lo asoro nyamani.
He knew how he got those things,
So babira dinani single barrel oni.
but when he gave it to me with the single barrel,
So murra
I went back.
daranga nyoboro sam.
I bought a bag of coups.
So yung single barrel nga be kolong.
This single barrel, I dismantled it,
Ani ala keso ni.
plus the bullet.
Ebe bula nyoboro hon.
I put them all inside this bag of
So
coups.
nga deda
I made it
deda nyala.
in a way.
So na travel tanangje.
I traveled with it
Abin na Senegal
from Senegal
o farafani.
up to Farafenye.
How many of you came?
Nonde damal nara wo sila follow.
The first trip I was alone. I came
Dele
alone.
wo samanang follow.
That was what I brought.
Ma any disturbance sero silo kan ka wo so sibe ko sa o sivale.
I had no disturbance or any problems on the way coming.
Je fam ni fura dawo da fam sa.
So wherever I reach,
Mo la fam kam ma ko karaba ke fam.
people help me quickly.
O fana ko sa ko do le dal.
That one also was because of something else.
O fana mu londo do le.
That's another knowledge.
Ai si fengo doje.
You see something,
Bari data phone hola.
but you cannot talk about it. You cannot even ask about it.
So nga kenan da fam fura.
This is how I did until I reached.
So birum purara nye kabiro do ma be suomen kono.
When I reached the compound where Kabiro's younger brother was staying,
So wol komsa wol fanan ka ajara ko nyobo ro ronam.
they also saw it as a bag of coups.
So birin na dundaje.
When I went in there with that bag of coups,
So o samo uraro.
the following day in the evening,
No manyina so namol nata.
if I remember, that's the time when my people arrived.
So biro
Jumalen nara.
so no manyina Ablay Songo.
If I can remember, Ablay Sonko,
Kabiro Dembajang,
Kabiro Dembajang,
Ramo Jiba,
Ramo Jiba,
Suleiman Sar,
Suleiman Sar,
Esa Balde,
Esa Balde,
Yaya Drame,
Yaya Drame,
and in the phone.
plus myself.
How about Omar Damfa?
Umar Damfa.
And Omar Damfa.
Ah,
Yes.
dole mo nang kamonata.
We are the people who came.
Okay, and then what happened?
So birum futaraje.
When we reached that place,
So ngalla.
we spent the night there.
So kebani member so hono.
The old man inside the compound,
Mentam kordanyende.
the yard owner,
So birinda futaraje.
when I reached there,
Amem fai.
but I told him
Kana ko ndom businessman olti.
I told him that I'm a businessman.
So kana counterpart no labatu sambi mina.
I'm waiting for my counterparts who will soon come.
So birol nara.
So when they arrived,
Gani like a business.
I told him these are my business partners.
But nem fengo dole nara.
But we came with certain things,
But na marsandi so dole be koma.
but some of our merchandise are still behind.
Nkawole batu follow.
That's what we are waiting for.
But I'm futa follow.
But it has not yet arrived.
But nyanta na cool kachala.
Because we should sit down and chart and plan
Janim nyanta dunna farafanya kamporo na.
how we are going to enter the Farafenya camp.
So woko no.
In that,
Purke banye kanan na cool londar.
so that they will not even suspect us.
Bare ni na cool no.
Because if they suspect us,
Na cool bebe tinyala.
everything will fail.
Yo so sa birnga ke wanyama.
So when I did that,
Nada si.
we sat down.
So birna mol nada.
When my people came,
Sudo follow.
the first night,
Dara purka dung.
we went to try and go in,
Bare fano keramma.
but we arrived close to daybreak.
So manna na akuoke.
Then we decided to leave it that day.
Murra.
We went back.
So babir murra.
So, but when we went back,
Sudo fulanjang.
the second night,
Birin nada.
when we came,
Danim be furala.
before we reached the place,
Nada na fankol jibe. Kung sa kidol nyan.
we checked our guns,
For ibita no leba.
whether they will function.
But nada realize ko.
Then we realized that
Kidol kung sa imamberia.
the guns were not good
Because ila menga kung sa kili keso nyima.
the firing pins,
Inonyi.
the firing
Your
pins,
fire and pinonyi.
the firing pins,
So abukata amasembo soro.
it was weak
Puruka kirikeso nyima nasi fire keno.
to be able to hit the bullet to fire.
But
It was
hanu
weak.
hanu nyawanya.
But despite all that,
Nada va gamfang kandela ro.
we said, let's just take them along.
So nada fo nyaro.
We came up to a place.
So bir nada fo fenso bala.
When we reached the fence,
Ata dula beje fenso nyi yelala.
there were parts of the fence which fell down.
So ndabirani wo fenso la.
Those were the areas we used.
So ata bundo be bunkuto beje.
There was a new building.
Bunkuto nyi.
That new building,
So ndabirani wo bunkuto nyi koma.
we went behind that new building.
So bir ajo bir suriyare nga sojar fular raji.
When we went near, we met two soldiers there.
Bir suriyare la ro.
When we got near to them,
Puru kanana kol kalamre kanalon ko fembembulu.
so that they will not know that we are having something,
So bunkuto nyi mbalanga fenko landije.
we decided to put down those single barrel guns. We placed them near behind the new building.
So nga luso maleka.
We put our torchlights on them.
So bir nga luso maleka.
After putting the torchlights on them,
So ngi silande.
We threatened them.
We scared them.
We scared them, yes. When we scared them, we said to them, you people are smoking. Because we found them smoking cigarettes. And a soldier.
Checkpoint or card post.
If you are at a checkpoint or on guard duty,
Gambia soldier or Yende Karandala, Emantra Karasika because Ala Noro and Ala Fankoni, Akajamfale.
I don't know about Gambian soldiers, but the way I was trained, when you are on guard duty or at a checkpoint, you shouldn't smoke because the smoke and the fire can be seen at a distance.
So when we scared
them, saying to them that you people are smoking here.
So soldier Londo use.
We used our military tactic.
Because
the Arabs used to teach you, they will teach you certain things. If they teach you about that, when you reach a person, if you use that system on that person, then that person will become scared.
So
when we put these torchlights on them and used that tactic, that's how they placed down their guns and they ran away.
How many of them?
At that point, we found 2 people there.
So
when we scared them, they placed their guns down and ran away.
So
this is how we picked up those guns. When we took the AK guns, we shot in the air.
So
after shooting in the air,
so
those were
communication
those who were in the rooms at the communication center and other places, because we went in there at 3 a.m.
So
So when we went in at that time, after shooting in the air,
so
those who were in the rooms also decided to take flight. You can hear their noise running inside the grass.
So that
time, that's the time when we advanced. We went to the armory. When we reached the armory,
so at
that time, Esa Balde, he had an iron bar.
So
the padlocks on the doors,
so
we decided to destroy those padlocks.
So
then we opened the armory. After opening the armory, we all were now able to acquire guns.
So
after we got those guns, because at that time it was dark,
so it
and at the camp, inside the camp there at that time, all the lights were put off.
So okay.
When they did that,
so
we also didn't go anywhere.
So we
were at the armory. They were around their bachelor's headquarters.
So
they used to shoot towards us, and we also returned fire in the darkness.
So
and I realized that there was one big gun they had, and it's called a mortar.
So it can
they used to fire that at us, but they didn't know that we have certain knowledge whereby if you are in a war field, if you are not surprised by a bullet, if you hear the sound of the bullet coming like big guns like a mortar, you can be able even to talk to it. And you can tell the bullet, go and lie down there, and the bullet will go and lie down.
What kind of knowledge is that?
So albeje all katra so that isake no ni si fenyo bara isake no anyhow.
That's a knowledge which you can apply on a cow tail or even your hand. Wherever you point, that's where the bullet will go and land.
Where did you learn that one?
Yo londo karambindole.
Londo kabiri Libya and Liberia.
I learned that knowledge in Libya and Liberia. But many of those type of knowledges, I learned that in Liberia. Because there were certain knowledges whereby the indigents of Liberia, even a child of 10 years, if he tells you, I will make a juju for you to protect you from bullets, if you look low on him, you will regret.
You really believe that?
Yes, I believe it. Because if they make it for you, they don't go anywhere. They will tell you to test it there instantly. If they make it for you, they will tell you to test it there instantly. And if you test it there, sometimes you will see that the magazine of the AK, you will see only water coming out of the gun.
Mr. Witness, do you know how many people died in the Liberian War out of bullet wounds?
I know.
Where were those jams?
A bullet that is meant to kill a person, and the bullet which should touch you, it has no chance to defy it. You don't even hear the noise of the bullet coming. A bullet that is supposed to kill you, you don't even hear it's coming. And a bullet that is supposed to reach you, you don't even hear it's coming. You just see that a bullet has reached you. But there are some things like that. Because every country has its own genes. Some jujus, if they make it for you, if you deny your marabu, if you deny your marabu, you will regret. But sometimes I think
so maybe
that might also be the reason.
This is all very interesting, but let's just go back to the issue. They were shooting at you with mortars, and how did you respond? How did you manage?
So
after that, we were there. They were shooting at us. We were also shooting them in darkness.
Any casualties? Were there any casualties?
No.
No.
Did you guys kill any one of them?
No.
No.
Do you realize that a person called Papa Keta and another person called Sekou Sidibe died there?
I don't know even those people.
But you were sitting in the dark, so you did not know whether anybody was hit.
Honey, because it will find a funny case because it will allow Bundro, Keso and the man sing.
Yes, because when we were exchanging bullets, when we were shooting at each other, it was in darkness. Because even myself, a bullet struck me on my leg. Bullet also broke the leg of Suleiman Sar.
But obviously for that one, you did not see it, so you could not order it to fall down on the side.
No, I didn't see that because an AK bullet and a big gun bullet They are different.
But this one, you could not make the AK to produce water instead of bullet.
Bani sila do AK ima tamandino pura geo findindi akana keso findindi.
When I was going into that place, every country has its own genes.
So it balandang
They are also they are jujus. If we want to use them in our country here, it won't work.
The ones that make the bullets into water, they only work in Liberia.
Amunda menga geo bondi keso fali geo faling
menga keso faling ke geoti
oka tama Liberia
because so which ones would work in Gambia?
Gambia janno juma be tama
la Gino ñing ak mun accept
wo fana ma fan so londo do.
There's another knowledge.
How did you react after you were hit?
When I was hit, when I was hit, I had a rag, a red one. I tied my thigh with that red rag.
So when
I tied it with that piece of cloth until it was strong, I went on along with my operation.
How about Suleiman Sar?
When Suleiman Sar was hit by the bullet, it broke his leg.
So
that's why he was unable to continue, and he cannot continue. What we did later was you took him out of the camp.
So
we looked for a cart. We put him on top of that cart. The owner of the car took him further.
So taxi another
taxi picked him up from there.
So where samba for border
and took him up to the border. Because the Faravere camp, after our attack, when they broke, true, we were strangers at that time in the Gambia. But when it was daybreak, we had support inside the town. The amount of people who were coming, those who wanted to join us, it was too much. Maybe there are people who come from Farafenni itself. If they hear that,
why did they not join?
So, because we refused.
Why?
Reason why we didn't want that, because at that time when it was daybreak,
so you will not
know who is who. And in a military situation, if you are doing something, you are always suspicious at all times. Don't trust all people. Some will come and tell you that we want to join you. If you take out a gun and give it to them, you don't know whether he is an enemy. This is why we refuse.
So what did you do in the morning after having helped Suleiman Sar evacuated from the scene? What did you do?
When it was daybreak,
so
every place was clear. We were able to recognize places. We saw a pickup parked near a long house, a building, a long-sided building. We went around that area.
So
when we went around there, myself and Yaya Drame, if I can remember, with Kabiro,
so
when we reached the pickup,
So mbeje
we were there.
so ngaje bungo kono
We saw that inside the building,
ngaje fengo kama rido
we saw a curtain being moved.
ngaje rido kama
When we saw that curtain moving,
so ngaje amari fengere da ay lal jiwabe lal sunyaro jiwe
and the person inside was peeping outside, looking around.
so biringa ujerro
When we saw that,
so ngaje fendina
we told him to come out.
so aniki jafaro
He was scared and came out.
so abiranara
When he came,
so yara fa ila kambu kumandala
on the whole, he was the camp commander.
so lord laroje
At that instant,
so waro anara fa nyandelo mo la kambu kumandari
he informed us that he was the camp commander.
akonya barsa na sojarol be em filije ni mboro yeko
He told me, but now all my soldiers have abandoned me. They've run away.
so sai
Now,
nara fa sai be sulari ni moro
then we told him that we need this vehicle.
so ay moro chabo dina
He gave us the car, the keys of the vehicle.
so ya drame
So Yaya Drame,
para ay moro nole
he's a able driver.
so ay moro nyumala
He ignited the vehicle.
nara amoro ning ila kambu kumandani
We came to the armory with the camp commander himself.
birum fudara amoro nyi
When we reached the armory,
so kidol membe kono roje
the guns which were inside,
e be bonde
we took them all out.
e bulande amoro nyi kon ke bulande pick up nyi
We
kon
put them on board the pickup.
so mankunje
They were all unable to fit inside the pickup.
so loda silo kan sila ba kan silo men kata bar
We stood on the main road, the road that leads to the river.
so ara fanko do jele ti do kana
There was one gelegele vehicle which was coming.
so ara ndenen kabiro tarawor
Myself and Kabiro, we went there.
so biru loda je
When we stood there,
so subaju no
in that early morning,
so biro jele nyam futata
when the gelegele arrived,
so ngalonde
we stopped it.
biru ngalonde
After stopping it,
so ngañinenga
we asked him,
fo ñin membe moto kon
we asked him, these people on board your vehicle,
fo ye jole ba
did they pay you?
ko e manjo folo de
He said, they have not yet paid me.
so tonya
Truly,
kay ko sai jindi
I told him to tell them to disembark
ko
from the vehicle
dolbe sular moto
because we need this vehicle.
so biri jita
So when they disembarked,
so moto ñin duna nin drive ñi
we decided to take the vehicle.
Did you force the driver using your weapons?
ali drive on force le kan kidol nyin tala tandal
yes
Yes.
so biranata
When he came,
biradu ndana kambo kono
when he came into the
so
camp,
kidi tol membe je
the rest of the guns,
e dunde moto ñin kono
we put them on board that vehicle.
Why did you empty the armory?
na le kidi mabod la nyimbe ale je be kidol be bondi je fa 15 ans
ni aje ngawoke
Reason for doing that,
na misono mende
what our mission
wo manke farafanyere
was not Farafenye.
na misono mende
What our mission
wala mu
was
state house or
is State House.
so malabe pour ka kidi to koma
We didn't want to leave any gun behind.
ni kido to koma
If you leave guns
ay
behind,
soja rol membe
the soldiers who were behind,
as keno
it's possible that
bida yo kidolta
they will come and take those guns
agency
and against us.
so ni pareda na pour ka mansa ke bonde
If you are ready to topple a king
be
or a
pareda
ruler,
kido soro de
you have to be ready to get a gun.
ni man keso ni man kido soro
Didn't Kuko know that?
ku koy mawolom
and waro ku ko I am filijira tar
No,
that-
when he gave you the pistol for hunting birds,
Yeah,
did he realize you needed guns?
biri wa ayo kidi ndingo dialla o kidi no me ko hani pura de marawolem fa malo no ni bida nyim kusi fala isula kidola
a koida ma ku ko mu soja rol
It's clear to him. Kukoi is a soldier. He was very good, intelligent, because he was a Zandam before. He knew, but he was just unable to get the right ones.
Maybe I know them,
The place where he was supposed to get this help from or acquire arms, he was unable to. So this is why I think he decided to acquire those guns, the ones which were only used for against birds.
So now it's daybreak. You have removed all the weapons from the armory. You have 2 vehicles. What did you do?
silang fano fela keta ale tata ale moto fula soro silang ale moto fula soro ale amore nyinga ya kenza yandi Mune nata nake.
Ila amore ni ani communication ol be nga be la samba. To na ko ala.
We cleared the armory and even the communication equipment, we took it all away. We put them all on board the vehicle.
So
after putting those things in the vehicle, I can say that we were in charge of the town of Farafenye till 11 o'clock in the morning.
So
that's the time when we left the camp. He said, let's go, let's head towards Banjul.
So on
our way coming,
which bank did you take?
Ala sila jumalata.
Kerawan silo mangara Kerawan.
We took the road leading towards Kerawan in Nyomi.
So no silo lata.
That's the road we took.
But from Fudara Bobolong, Kontakunda Niji.
We came all the way to Bobolong, near to Kontakunda Niji.
So when
we were about to reach that place,
so
the river there,
so
we saw a vehicle coming from the Kerawan end.
So
when we saw that vehicle, it has a light on top. We realized that it was a military vehicle.
So
when they also saw us coming, they stopped.
So
we also stopped.
When
we stopped,
so
civilians came on their side because they were close to the junction. They called the civilians. When they called the civilians,
so
they decided to place those people on the main road.
As human shields?
Yes.
So your system all use.
That's the system they used.
Do you know who was the commander of the soldiers that you encountered?
Alin soldier ol menu benda yalla na jumala muila nyaron ko riba.
After na arresto ko la naralo ko pitalam.
After we were arrested, we later came to find out that it was Peter Singate.
Proceed.
When we met up with them there, when they brought those civilians, we realized that yeah, we had a big gun, an RPG, because if you know that RPG, if you shoot a certain place, however big the building is, it will disintegrate.
So but
then we realized that that is not our mission. If we shoot these people, because they left their vehicle on the main road and placed civilians on the road, and they themselves ran away and went into the bush. They left the main road. Because the civilians there weren't even aware of what was happening. So many of them were there. Some were standing in front of the vehicle, others were standing on the road. They wanted to know what was going on.
So what did you do?
If you shoot there, you are going to kill only civilians.
So
then we realized that. Well, as for this, we have failed.
So
let's disperse.
So
that was the time when we dispersed.
So
when we dispersed,
so now
the time when we were dispersing,
so
each and everyone decided to plan where you are supposed to go by.
So you
take that way for yourself.
So
at that time, I came and placed my gun.
So
after putting down my gun, I took the main road. I went up to the point where I reached the civilians, up to their vehicle. When I reached their vehicle, but by that time they have all ran away, they were in the bush.
So
I passed.
I
went all the way to the main junction. When I reached the junction,
police
I met a policeman there. I found that place also full. I found a friend there. They call him Bakari Kanteh. We were together in Libya.
So
when he saw me, by that time I was bleeding.
So I
have already tied my leg and I was still bleeding. He asked me, Balo, where are you coming from? I said to him, I am coming from Farafenye.
So
but our vehicle met with these people on the way.
So
and they were shooting each other. During that shootout,
so
a bullet hit me. I didn't want him to know who I am and where I was coming from.
So at
that time there was a policeman.
So
because that Bakari Kanteh, he decided that because he knew me.
So
he told me, let me carry you to my home so that this thing can be treated.
But
the policeman, he said to him, no, I don't trust this man. I'm going to arrest him.
So
then the policeman told me that I will arrest you. He said, I don't trust you. I'll arrest you. I didn't resist.
No problem.
I said to him, no problem.
So at
that time, when we were discussing there, the vehicle owned by Save the Children arrived.
So
when it stopped,
so
he talked to them.
So
they told him that bring him and put him on board the vehicle. Because there were only 2 people on board the vehicle.
So
that's how they put me on board that vehicle. They took me to Kerawan.
So
when we arrived at Kerawan,
for Kerawan police station,
up to the Kerawan police station, when we reached that place,
policeman police station.
We found one man sitting at the police station.
So
when we reached the place,
so
they took my things from me.
So
because I had some charms on me.
So
they took away those charms. Plus my jacket. And some other things which were on me.
So
they took all those things from me.
So
from there,
so
that's how they brought me.
So for policeman
the policeman we found sitting there
hospital
said to him, take him to the hospital.
So when
I was taken to the hospital, the moment I arrived at the hospital, I was there. These police was discussing with the doctors. They were there. Then I saw some vehicles arriving. But it looks like they were Red Cross vehicles.
So
when they arrived, some people came in.
So
when they came in, inside the hospital, they were discussing among themselves.
So
in those discussions, some were saying we trust this man, some were saying no, we don't trust this man. Some said no, now let's take him to Banjul. But we will not put him on board this vehicle. Before we put him on board the vehicle, we will inject him so that he will pass out.
So
that was the time I was injected. Those who were over me, the person who injected me is a woman. Was a woman. I don't know the name of that woman. Because there were many people there, but they don't want me to recognize any one of them.
So
After I was injected,
so
that's how I became flat.
So
I think that was the time when they put me on board a vehicle.
So
by the time I woke up, that was at the NIA gates.
So
Mr. Kanteh, perhaps maybe we can leave it at that for the lunch break.
And we'll take a 1 hour lunch break and then come back at 2:30. Meeting is adjourned. Thank you.